Hi, today I'm going to do a garden update video. Today is April 20th, and I'm going to just see how everything's growing in my garden, what I need to work on. Let's go. So I've got lots of beautiful daffodils growing in these pots. These are pots that I start in the garage. I put them out somewhere in the beginning of March, so they bloom earlier than whatever I've got growing in the ground, but they're really pretty. Listen to all the birds this morning. Sounds great. So I've got this pot. This is a mix of yellow and white daffodils. This pot over here has a mix of pink, or I think they're more salmon colored daffodils. I've got some more. This is a mix of daffodils, and actually it's getting towards the end now of some daffodils that need to be cut out, and some tulips that are blooming. Really pretty. I don't usually go for red. This was a mix of red and pink. I'm mostly getting red, but it still looks beautiful this time of year to have flowers. I love this mix of different double daffodils, peachy colors. Looks like there's some replete in there. I don't know what the other kinds are. This is a barrel that I put together. I think it's really pretty. It's got some euphorbia in the back there. I wanted something tall, and then it's got some violas and some pansies. These are really pretty pansies. I love those. And some alyssum in the front. Just things that could do okay while it's still pretty cold. It's 46 degrees today. Don't see on the horizon any more frost coming, but these are things that should do okay if there's a frost anyways. To the side of the door, the other day we planted a bare root David Austin rose. This is a James Galway rose that I'm hoping to have climb up the wall here. I'm going to put a trellis, so it's starting out good. It's got lots of leaf growth. I've got these irises that have been in here for forever. I think they're Siberian irises. And the plants back there are Russian sage. This is some proven winners. Leading Lady Raspberry Monarda, which is super pretty. Bloomed all summer last summer. I planted this last summer. It looks like it's coming up in several different clumps, which will be nice because I'll be able to separate it and move it around a little bit. Some hyacinths at the end of their bloom. They were really pretty, and I love the way they smell. Here's some cat's pajama nepeta, or cat mint, that I planted last year from Proven Winners, coming back pretty strong. Some white daisies over here. I've got some wild geraniums coming up. These are gorgeous, bright pink in the summertime. Long bloom, repeat bloomers. Lots of heirloom lilies from my mother from her previous houses that bloom great all summer. So some lilies, and then in the middle here I've got some daffodils that are coming up. They're definitely later than the ones in the barrels, but these are going to be pretty once they bloom too. Some daffodils. I've got some salvia, a couple of salvias over here, and in the corner I've got a daisy that I'm not sure is doing so well. Lots of hydrangeas. These are all blue hydrangeas. I got this one. I cut all these back the other day. Cut out the dead wood and kind of dead-headed from last year. Got another one, a couple over there. There's some different varieties, but I've got them kind of all around the yard. There's one little one that I've got to move this year because it's kind of dwarfed out by that, or by the one next to it. It's too close. I'm going to move that to the backyard. Again, lots of lilies in the middle of the yard here. They're all coming back great. Here's a grape hyacinth. It's blooming, kind of a cheerful little flower. Here's a Astrantia Roma. Love that. It's coming back strong. Got two more roses over here. This is an Emily Bronte David Austin rose that I planted last year. It looks like it's coming back really great. Lots of growth happening on there. Here's another David Austin rose that I just planted. This is a roll doll, so it's a peach-colored rose. Excited to see what happens here. This again has some good growth happening on the tips. Peony over here. That looks beautiful when it blooms. It's a bright pink. This is Autumn Joy sedum. Looks like it's coming back good. Again, more lilies. Black-eyed Susan that I transplanted over to here last year. Coming good. You can see the growth on the bottom of this hydrangea starting to come back really nicely. I've got a few tulips in here. planted tulips a few years ago, and some of them are coming back. Some of them are just like the scrubby growth is not going to bloom, but these came back nicely. It's pretty yellow. I don't remember what kind it was. I got some, in addition to the lilies in the middle here, I've got some tall garden phlox. These are white. I've got 3 of them. Really beautiful when they're blooming. Got all my winter sowing jugs out in the middle here. Here I've got some Echinacea purpurea that I planted last year. It didn't flower, but it should flower this year. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 of them. There's a little bit of salvia that I moved over here. We'll see how that does. This over here is my dahlia area. That is just got the tubing there, ready to have dahlias planted. On this side, I've got some black-eyed Susans that are just a really strong patch of those. In the back, I've got some gladiolas that I planted last year coming up again. I don't expect them to flower nicely this year. I don't know if they'll flower at all, but maybe since they're right close to the foundation, they might be warm enough that they actually survive. We'll see what happens with those. Just in the middle here, I have some allium, 3 allium, but they came up last year just the same as this, and then they never bloomed, so I don't know what's going to happen there. This is a whole area where I plant annuals, so that's just waiting for me to do some planting. I've got these winter sowing jugs that I opened up just to give them some sun and air, get them ready for planting. I might plant them today. I've got some poppies, amazing gray Shirley poppies, and poppy Hungarian blue, and then I've got this Persian cress. I've never grown that before, but it's kind of a foot filler flower, so I'm excited to see what that is. These are pretty daffodils. The variety of these daffodils is Winston Churchill. This is the 2nd year I've had them. Here is some Sahara Rudbeckia. It's really pretty, all different brown and reddish color flowers. That's coming back nice and strong. Here's my lupine from seeds that I gathered in Maine on a vacation in 2021, perhaps. I'm growing some more in my winter sowing jugs. Just starting to come up. This did not flower last year, but it looks really strong. Looks like it will flower. There's two plants there, but just really big and strong looking. So I'm excited to see if those bloom. I have some hollyhocks over here. They're not doing anything yet. Hopeful that they will. I mean, they look a little dead to me, but I know they come out a little later. So fingers crossed that those are going to survive. I love hollyhocks. So let's head into the backyard now and see what's growing back there. Stairs to the back, and up through the dog's side yard. And let's see what we can see up here. Basket of gold here. I planted last year that's doing really great. This right here, last year was tons of self-seeded marigolds. I'm hoping that they'll come back again. And then last year I had some sugar star phlox in here, mixed in with them, which looked really pretty. I've got some iris in the back, some more iris over here. I've got some trays of snapdragons and Linaria, which is actually blooming. I don't know what to make of that I'm hardening off out here, and some hare's tail grass. So I can plant those out. I might plant those out this weekend. We've got some snow in summer. That seems to be doing well. It's something I'd like to get cascading over this wall if it will cooperate with me. It's from last year. Some Stelladora lilies, 3 of them here. It's kind of hidden by the hare's tail grass, but there's one there, and one back here. Those always do really well. In this garden, I have some other perennials coming up. I've got some catmint. I've got some speedwell. I have some proven winners, Paint the Town Magenta Dianthus. Some geum, which is beautiful bright orange. Some more blue fescue in the back over there. I've got some lilies. I've got some heuchera that I planted at the end of last season. So growing up this little tower here, I have a Clematis Marie Skłodowska Curie. I think that's how you say it. It's got really big, pretty white flowers. Looks like it's got a bunch of buds on there now. I also have a lavender over here, and in the very back corner an echinopsis, which I'm actually going to move. I've got purple Doro lilies, smaller lilies with purple flowers, really pretty, and I got a geranium in here. I've got some spiderwort, which I tried to move, but I guess I left some roots and it's coming up in the same places it was before. Got June out here taking a nap in the sun. It's pretty cool out here, but the sun feels good. Here's that basket of gold up close. Really pretty. I'm hoping that will just come over this wall when it's more mature. Also a spiderwort hiding behind there, and I planted a Novia last year. It doesn't look like it's doing much. I hope it didn't die. I don't see any sign of life in there. I've never grown it before, so I don't know what to expect, but oh, fingers crossed that will come back. Up on top here, I've got another basket of gold. This one's starting to bloom as well, also from last year. Here I have this Proven Winners Oh So Easy Italian Ice Rose. This will be my 3rd year with this, so it's starting to get a little bit bigger. Got lots of echinacea I planted a couple years ago. This really blooms nicely and comes back nicely. Lots of little echinacea plants coming up. Lots of little echinacea. It's doing good. Let's see, over there I've got some spiderwort. And at the very end down there I've got a hydrangea. I think it's Firelight Tidbit. I'm gonna plant a couple more of those this year. I have them on order. They're actually supposed to get delivered from Bluestone Perennials tomorrow. Got some tulips coming up. These were like almost black tulips. I'm not sure I love them, but they're coming back strong. I see lots of buds on them, so let's see, maybe interplant them with something else. I think I'd like them better. And some lilies coming up in the back. These are also heirloom lilies that we divided from the front. These are orange, and the ones over here are salmon colored, which I purchased. Those are lilies I've had for several years. Day lilies. I have an allium there, and one here, and one back there that I planted 2 years ago. Only that one bloomed last year, but I am hopeful these are those great big Schubertii allium. Great big bulb allium. I have another rose, Oh So Easy Italian Ice Rose, right here from Proven Winners. Same as the one over there, but this one, it's kind of green. It doesn't have any leaf growth on it yet, but it is. There are some green-ish branches on it, so I'm hopeful that will come back. This is a Proven Winners butterfly bush. Did great the last 2 years. I cut it back. I'm hopeful that it's going to do well. It doesn't look like anything right now, but I can see some new leaves on it, just starting to come out. This is a bed where I plant annuals. Lots of zinnias last year. That looks like there's some weeds coming up that I need to get down there and weed, but there are also some bachelor buttons. Some down there in the shade that come up along the wall. Self-sown bachelor buttons, but they're really pretty when they're blooming. They look like getting ready. Those always bloom pretty early. In this garden, there's some more heirloom lilies and some coreopsis. Planted some carrots and beets, but nothing yet. I think it's early for them to be coming up. Also, I need to water those today. Nothing else in this box yet. I think this box is going to be a lot of sunflowers this year, and maybe some basil. Back here we have echinopsis coming back strong. Here's some liatris that are coming back. I can see the leaves starting to come up out of the soil there. I do plant some annuals in this area as well. Beautiful phlox that I planted last year that's on the rocks, really coming back beautifully. Really pretty color. Black-eyed Susans and some coconut daisies, which are so pretty, little feathery petaled flowers. This is a bed where I had my seed dahlias last year. I'll probably do the same this year. Got another little fox over here. Proven winners, Luminary Ultraviolet phlox. Really pretty flowers last year. Might have to move this because it got shaded out by the bed of seed dahlias. So here I had some hyacinths that I wasn't expecting. I moved some bulbs from a pot in the front last year that I thought was just going to be daffodils, but it must have had some hyacinth bulbs mixed in with it. Happy accident. Got some Prairie Sun Rudbeckia, which has reseeded itself. I'm actually going to put a little fence around this area because the rabbits loved to eat this last year. I don't want them to. There's a speedwell that was gifted to me last year. More lilies that were sent as an extra when I ordered some plants last year. So it's like a bright pinky red lily. I've got more liatris over here, lots of liatris. Looking forward to seeing that again. It's really beautiful when it blooms. I've got a little teeny tiny blueberry right here, which actually looks like it's got some new growth on it. Bought that as a bare root a couple years ago, so I don't know what to expect from that. There's another blueberry here, also just purchased as a bare root, so we'll see. Again, it looks like it's got some new growth coming out, so hoping to see something from that this year. Irises, more irises. Got some hydrangeas up here. There's one that I planted. These were volunteers from a hydrangea out front. There's one. Looks like it's gonna work out this year. There's another that looks like it'll probably make it. They've got some new buds on them. This is a third that I don't think is gonna make it because it looks pretty dead. Come down here. Two hydrangeas here that were gifted to me. It's like potted, kind of indoor gifts, but I didn't want to throw them away. I planted them both out here and they're both growing well, so I don't know what kind they are exactly, but I think they'll be fine. I'm gonna try maybe add that other hydrangea from the front out here, somewhere around here. Some heuchera that are coming up nicely. So we had 3 heucheras and 3 heucherellas. They look like they're coming back. Hopefully, they look like they're coming back. That one's definitely doing well. This one looks like it's coming back. This one still looks kind of bare rooty, but hopefully we'll get something from that. Heucheras look good though, heucheras. And then that is a Aruncus, or goat's beard. It's kind of like a poofy white flower. And also over here, I don't know how these aren't doing as well as they have in previous years. These are Jack Frost Brennera. Beautiful plant when they get bigger. Green leaves with a white overlay. And I can see them starting. They usually in the springtime have these gorgeous, starting right there, gorgeous blue, forget-me-not type flowers. Those 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, this is usually a beautiful little area in the summer. So hopefully they'll come back stronger than they look like they are right now. And over here I have a little columbine. This is a Clementine Red Spurless Columbine. So that's about it for my very early spring garden tour. Lots of work ahead. Hopefully get out here today and get started. I'm expecting a shipment of plants from Bluestone Perennials today or tomorrow, so lots of planting of those to do. Thanks for watching.